मामा गली मंदिर पे जाती है बच्चे, उसके नसीब से मैं जिंदा हूँ आज।
At 10:45 a.m. this Tuesday, a 5-story building in Maximum City crumbled like a pack of cards.
A 2-wing building came crashing down yesterday at 10:45 a.m. and as you can see, the family of the survivors have come here to take their belongings.
तकदीर की बात है और कुछ नहीं है। पाँव दोनों चिपक गया था तो वो लोग बम्बा वाले ने आके तोड़ा, सिर्फ हवा का भी जगह नहीं था।
58-year-old Rajesh Doshi was trapped under the debris. He was rescued after 15 hours, but not every life could be saved. 17 people, including 2 children, were crushed to death, while 50 others were grievously injured. Rescue operations conducted by the NDRF and the army lasted well over 24 hours. But could the tragedy have been averted?
क्या कर दिया, एक सेकंड भी नहीं लगा, एक सेकंड भी नहीं। किसी ने बोला ही नहीं कि मैं बिल्डिंग गिर रही है, बोलना चाहिए था ना।
Shiv Sena leader Sunil Shitap, who owns the building, was constructing a hotel on the ground floor of the complex, which allegedly weakened the structure. A fact confirmed by the chief minister.
प्रामुख्यानं संभाव्य कारण असं दिसतं की हे जे काही नर्सिंग होम बंद केलं होतं सुनील शिताप यांनी, त्या ठिकाणी त्यांनी काही काम चालू केलं होतं आणि त्याच्या नूतनीकरणाच्या कामामध्ये बीम आणि कॉलमला इजा झाली असावी अशा प्रकारचा प्राथमिक अंदाज या ठिकाणी वर्तवण्यात येतोय.
Within hours, the police arrested the accused, and he has now been remanded to custody for 7 days.
आगे का ऐसा कहना है कि अल्टरेशन किए पिलर्स में, इसलिए 304 अप्लीकेबल होता पार्ट 2। मेरा ऐसा कहना था कोई अल्टरेशन नहीं था, टेनेबल रिपेयर था, आर्किटेक्ट का परमिशन था, वी अपॉइंटेड आर्किटेक्ट।
Killer negligence that claimed 17 lives. But does the onus lie squarely with the owner? Could a local politician carry out illegal construction without the knowledge of the civic body? Will those responsible for this man-made disaster pay for their criminal negligence? Mira Now report.
Well, there are a lot of things going on in the country tonight, and everybody is going to be talking about the politics that's playing out in Bihar. Is that really important? Or is it important when corruption continues to claim lives? Here's what happened in Mumbai. A powerful politician decided that he was going to, without permission, knock down pillars of the ground floor of a building he owned and turn whatever he had into perhaps a hospital. When he knocked down the pillars, the entire building came down. There were toddlers who died. People who were in their homes, minding their own business, were suddenly crushed by rubble. 17 people died, 17, and 50 people have been injured, and there's still rescue operations going on almost 48 hours later. That one person has now been arrested, but we continue to ask this question. Could that work in that building be carried on without the knowledge of those in the local corporation? Is that even possible? Was there corruption involved? Were palms being greased? Was this person taking advantage of the fact that he was part of the Shiv Sena? He costed lives. Just like over the weekend, we lost Kanchan Nath to a falling tree. We lost Jagrati to a pothole. These are lives that we've lost to corruption. And we are going to continue to demand on this channel that these people be held accountable, not just by suspending them or by initiating any sort of civic or civil suit against them, but criminally hold them accountable, prosecute these people, and not just this man who has been arrested, but whoever is in the local office of the BMC in Ghatkopar who obviously turned a blind eye to what was going on, who obviously received a packet of cash and decided he's going to do nothing about it. I want you to tonight do two things for me, please. Go onto our website and join our campaign as we demand and we reach out to the Prime Minister's office and the Chief Minister's offices that they make this accountable. That every time there is an accident and every time lives are lost, that the police be asked and directed to investigate whether or not there was someone in local authority who failed either through negligence or corruption that costed a life. The other thing that you can do is get yourself involved in this debate. Our phone lines are at the bottom of your screen. You can also log on to involve.in and leave either a question or a comment that will automatically pop up onto our screen, so you don't have to wait for someone to patch you into the studio. You can just use this method to be part of the debate. Joining me on the show this evening, Bhalchandra Shirsat, Vice President, Mumbai BJP. Sachin Ahir is the spokesperson of the NCP. Rajan Bandelkar, Vice President, NAREDCO. Rajiv Mishra, RTI Activist. Shailesh Gandhi, former Central Information Commissioner. Ketan Doshi is a resident of the area. Dikshu C Kukreja is an architect and an urban designer. Sujay Kantawala is a senior lawyer. But first, before I go to any of you, I want to go to our reporter Disha Shah, who has been tracking this entire incident since yesterday. She's still on location in Ghatkopar with residents, with survivors of what happened. Disha, speak to the survivors around you. Are they angry? Are they expecting justice? What do they want? What happened?
Yes, Faye, certainly. Yes, Faye, certainly. I'm standing here with one of the eyewitness here, Ketan Doshi, who lost his friends and even relatives for that matter in this mishap. Let's straight away speak to him. Sir, आप बताइए, आपने ये पूरी घटना जो है वो आपने खुद नोटिस की है. आप बताइए what exactly happened yesterday.
जब मैं मेरे मिसिस के साथ 10:20 के करीब इस बिल्डिंग के बाजू से गुजर रहा था तो पूरा धूल मट्टी आ गई हमारे आंखों पे. हम साइड पे खड़े रह गए. हमने मुड़ के देखा तो ये मंजिल पूरी दब रही थी और मट्टी उड़ रही थी. और हमारे कुछ दोस्त मुझे जानते हैं जो मुझे बुलाए, केतन भाई ये बिल्डिंग गिर गया. उस समय मैं यही स्पॉट पे था.
आप ये जो मिशैप जो हुआ है, क्योंकि ये 25 साल बिल्डिंग है, बट ऐसा नहीं था कि ये डिलैपिलेटेड कंडीशन में थी. काफी बीएमसी की रिपोर्ट्स ये भी बता रही है कि पुरानी बिल्डिंग है, ये है, बट ये बहुत वेल मेंटेन्ड कंडीशन में थी. इसकी वजह क्या थी? बिकॉज वी नो फॉर द फैक्ट दैट सुनील शिताप जो शिव सेना लीडर है, जो डायग्नोस्टिक सेंटर ओन कर रहे थे, उन्होंने इलीगल रेनोवेशन शुरुआत की थी. तो इसके बारे में आप क्या बताना चाह रहे हैं?
ये 25 नहीं, ये 35 साल जूनी बिल्डिंग है और ये डीहेलिप्लेट बिल्डिंग नहीं थी. थोड़ा सा रिपेयरिंग वर्क के लिए सोसाइटी ने कुछ प्रोसेस किया था, लेकिन कुछ मस्ती की वजह से वो रिनोवेशन हो नहीं पाया. ये जरा भी डीहेलिप्लेट बिल्डिंग नहीं थी.
और सुनील शिताप के बारे में आपका क्या? बिकॉज वो काफी रेसिडेंट्स को भी थ्रेटन किया करते थे कि ये बिल्डिंग रीडेवलपमेंट में जाना चाहिए, ये और उन्होंने उनके भी 3 फ्लैट्स थे इस बिल्डिंग में.
अब थ्रेटनिंग की बात तो मैं नहीं कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन कुछ कंप्लेन ऐसी थी कि ये बिल्डिंग के अंदर कुछ ना कुछ करे या नया हो, ऐसा सभी की इच्छा थी. कुछ लोग नहीं मानते थे, कुछ लोग मानते थे.
आप क्या जस्टिस एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं अभी? क्योंकि आपके काफी रिलेटिव्स और फ्रेंड्स इसमें ये घटना में इनकी डेथ हो गई है. आप क्या जस्टिस एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं?
हम मौत के सामने मौत तो मांग नहीं सकते, लेकिन हमारे घर गए हैं जो लोग, उसके सामने हमें घर मिले. हमें सीएम के शब्द पे भरोसा है. वो यहाँ जगह पे 1 महीने के अंदर सारी परमिशंस और सारी यंत्रणा लगा के हमारी ये बिल्डिंग जैसी थी वैसी खड़ी कर दे.
So here you go, Faye. Of course, here one of the eyewitness, he's saying that he is truly believing the CM's word, and CM has had met the residents here and also the survivors here on the spot yesterday, and he has promised that within a month, of course, there will be some relief here for the survivors and also for the neighboring buildings as well.
All right, Disha, many thanks for joining us from Ghatkopar, from the site from where it's happening. Involve.in phone lines are open. I'm going to open up this debate right now. Unfortunately, the Shiv Sena has not joined us. They've decided not to be part of this conversation. Bhalchandra Shirsat is your Vice President of Mumbai BJP. Mr. Shirsat, corruption taking a toll on our lives. 17 people have died to corruption, Mr. Shirsat.
Yes, I am from Ghatkopar only. I visited the spot immediately. I know the background. Sunil Shitap was earlier in MNS. He contested in 2012 municipal election from MNS. In 2017, his wife was a candidate on ladies' seat. But basically, he is not a politician. He is attached to politics. He is not a politician. He is Badshah of encroachment, illegal work, unauthorized work. He has not done one single work. He has done a lot of works in Enwald, Bhandup, Mulund. He has unauthorized hotel in Powai, on the main road of Powai, just opposite Powai Lake.
So, Mr. Shirsat, if you know all of this, have you filed an FIR against him?
Everywhere cases are going on, and this is possible only with corruption. It is not only corruption of money. Corruption of money is 100% there, but corruption of power is also there. Corruption of position is also there.
So you were saying, Shirsat, you are saying that basically if this man was knocking down pillars and renovating the ground floor, there was obviously corruption somewhere in the BMC that was allowing him to do that?
Basically, he removed the pillars earlier night within 2-3 hours and immediately the building collapsed. So there was no time for resident to complain. But this illegal work was going on for 1.5 months. Earlier nursing home, maternity home, it was closed down, and he wanted to start probably a bar, restaurant, lodging, boarding. What was his plan, he knows better. But he touched the pillars, structural pillars were damaged,
so tell me something,
beams were damaged.
Mr. Shirsat, you said you're from Ghatkopar, you are aware of who this person is, you are aware of the kind of, you said, illegal work that he is doing. Have you ever filed a complaint against him?
There are a lot of complaints in municipal corporation, lot of cases in court.
Criminal
Recently,
complaint.
3 months back, he had fraudulent documents, went to the court and brought a order from the court. If the documents are all right, give him repair permission. Repair permission was given by Enward office based on the court order. This is a racket. By catching court, catching advocates, they are misleading the court, getting the misleading orders, getting misleading permissions.
What have you done about this, Mr. Shirsat? I want to know, have you filed a FIR with the police station in Ghatkopar at any point in the last 1.5 years saying this is illegal, this is endangering the life of citizens, he's encroaching?
FIR is never filed in police station.
Why not?
No.
Because there is no law that allows it?
The law says FIR cannot be filed by a citizen in police station unless the accident happens. Now in this case, you have to complain to municipal corporation. Municipal corporation will file MRTP or FIR or whatever.
Okay, hang on. Sujay, is that true? Sujay, senior lawyer, Sujay, is that true? We can't file an FIR if we see something illegal going on? That doesn't sound right.
Obviously, you can go to the police station and file an FIR. When you see a cognizable offence like this that we are seeing over here, this seems to be, from what Mr. Shirsat said, this seems to be a organized criminal activity run by this person. And the act that has been committed, resulting in the death of so many people, each person who has died, each person who has been grievously injured is a separate cognizable offence. He needs to be tried separately. It cannot be cumulative or jointly. That technicality will not help him. They will run consecutive sentences. So therefore, what the government now has to do is immediately see to it that the charge sheet is filed. He is not allowed to be released on bail so that he may tamper with the evidences or influence the witnesses. That should not be allowed. And when he committed this act of removing a pillar, I mean, even a 2-year-old child would know that if a pillar is removed, the building will fall. He has, with requisite intention, committed a grossly illegal act, and for which straight away the law provides for minimum 10 years.
Yes.
Under 304.
So, Sujay, I'm asking you this question. We will have a series of politicians who will show up and tell us that, oh, this person is very corrupt. This party is very corrupt. We know of such corrupt behavior that has been happening over so many years. Aren't they morally obligated, if they know of this sort of life-endangering corrupt behavior, that they file a complaint about it, Sujay?
Yes. If they say from the rooftops that some organized criminal activity is happening in this particular, and they come to know about it, then they are obliged under the law. Every citizen in our country is obliged under the law, because the greatest dishonest person is the person who knows something is happening and does not do anything about it and choose to remain quiet. Criminals will keep on doing their activity, but
Mr.
the greater
Shirsat,
criminal is the person who doesn't do anything about it.
As the ally of the Shiv Sena right now, is that what you're doing, knowing that there is something wrong going on but not saying anything about it?
Now let me correct, we are not ally of Shiv Sena.
No, you're not. Okay.
We
not
are
in the
not ally
state
of Shiv
government?
Sena.
Please,
please remove from your mind, we contested separate elections and still people voted for 84 Shiv Sena councillors, where people like Sunil Shitap are available. And lot many more are there, because majority unauthorized construction in the city is being done by Shiv Sena councillors and Shiv Sena Shakha Pramukhs. This is the fact.
All right, let me open this up right now. Sachin Ahir, spokesperson of the NCP, and I just want to point out to our audience, the thing that broke my heart today was visuals that Disha sent in of people looking through the rubble for their belongings. Can you imagine if your house or your home that in this, in any city in our country costs so much to buy, and then you put it together and in less than 5 minutes it has turned to rubble, you have lost your loved ones. And then you have to look through the rubble for your belongings. There are visuals that we will put on your screen of these women who are looking for clothes, for utensils. Calamity. It's a horrible thing. And this is the country, this is the city that we live in. Sachin Ahir, go ahead. Whose fault is this, and why did we allow this to happen?
Firstly, I'd like to blame the administration and the system, the unfortunately part which we are working, and then the government. It's ridiculous to believe 1.5 months this kind of construction is going on and no BMC official are being aware. If, as a layman, if you are just doing a basic interior work in your house, and if there is some sack of sand and cement are being seen outside your house, the BMC officials comes to your door and ask, what kind of work are you doing? So where were these officials from past 1.5 months? Here I like to have this debate across the political parties or something like this. Today is Shiv Sena, tomorrow if it would have been my party also, the punishment has to be the same. So the question arises here is this, when these kinds of things are being happening, where is the system? Where is the administration? Why nobody is doing this? Today I was very admiringly seeing the CM statement also, and I respect his credibility, but the unfortunate part, he's been wrongly briefed, because we already have an existing act where the provisions are there, if there are some illegal activities around the ward, not only the assistant commissioner, it is not his job, but they have to designate it to junior engineer and executive engineer to look over if these kinds of illegality works are going on. And unfortunately, nobody is being answering them. And
this is the problem. Nobody is answerable, and this is what we've been asking for. Nobody is accountable. We've been asking for this for the last several days. I mean, Bhalchandra Shirsat coming in and telling us that the only thing you can do is file a complaint at the BMC. The BMC itself is corrupt. Every officer at every table in the BMC, including the peon and the office boys in BMC, are corrupt. We know these stories. They take money to move your file from one table to another table. That is how corrupt that office is. How can you have a system in any of our corporations, whether that is Bangalore or Delhi or Pune or Mumbai, where the police and the robber is the same person, where you can only go and complain about the robber to the robber? This is what the problem is. This is Shailesh Gandhi. We've been complaining about this for so long, and this is why we've started a movement on this channel where we are going to ask for these people to be criminally prosecuted. If it is found that there is someone in an office who knew this was happening and out of corruption allowed it to happen, that person should go to jail for a very, very long time. Suspension is not enough anymore.
At the very least, even right now, Mr. Shitap has been at least taken into custody, but the architect, I haven't heard anywhere that the architect is being held responsible. I haven't heard anywhere that the municipal corporation officer has been held responsible. At the very least, these are the 3 people who should be held responsible. 17 people have died.
For no fault of this.
And is the police, is the state sensitive to this? The Chief Minister has made a statement, but has anybody taken the care and said at least 3 people are responsible, not just one person, and say, okay, we'll have this one person in custody? And unfortunately, and this pains me, past experience shows that even this one person will probably escape with no major damage to him. This is where we need to do something. I think sensitivity has been lost. What this gentleman does was out of sheer arrogance and greed. And this is being funneled by everybody. If we can, and Mr. Shirsat pointed out that there are a lot of illegal activities. Sir, I beg of you, please file an FIR with the police for each one of these. You can do it, and you will give a lead to citizens who will all start reporting illegal activities, and I think it can make a huge difference, sir. That would be real service to the entire city.
Let me just open up this panel right now. I want to bring in also Rajiv Mishra, RTI Activist. Rajiv Mishra.
सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि मुंब्रा, भिवंडी, कलवा, वागले स्टेट, भायखला, मस्जिद बंदर, घाटकोपर, कितनी घटनाएं चाहिए आपको, कितनी घटनाएं चाहिए इन चीज़ों को समझने के लिए। और इसमें फिर मैं आपको बता दूं, कम से कम 200 लोगों की जान जा चुकी है पिछले 5 साल में। 200 पीपल्स आर डाइड। आपको मैं एक बड़ी बात सिरसाट साहब को मैं बताना चाहता हूं, जो आज बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता के रूप में हमारे सामने मौजूद हैं। मेरा PIL है, चूंकि इस केस को मैं बहुत अच्छी तरह इसलिए समझता हूं क्योंकि मैंने इसको लेकर के मुंबई उच्च न्यायालय में PIL दाखिल कर रखा है। मेरे PIL में जिन लोगों को, जिन कॉरपोरेटर्स को हाई कोर्ट ने पाया है कि ये लोग इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन इनक्रोच करके गवर्नमेंट लैंड पे किए हैं और इसको कॉमन पीपुल्स को बेचे हैं, इनोसेंट बायर्स को बेचे हैं, उनको बेचने वाले लोगों के साथ चीफ मिनिस्टर की मीटिंग होती है, जिसको हाईकोर्ट ने दोषी ठहराया है। उनके साथ चीफ मिनिस्टर देवेंद्र फडणवीस की मीटिंग होती है और वो हाईकोर्ट पर स्टे लाने का प्रयास करते हैं। और आपको मैं बताऊं, इसी केस में, ये जो इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन का केस है, इसमें गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी लाती है कि 31 दिसंबर 2015 तक जितने भी इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन है उसको हम रेगुलराइज करेंगे। ये पॉलिसी लाती है हाई कोर्ट में। उस पॉलिसी को मैं चैलेंज करता हूं, वो पॉलिसी टूटती है। फिर दोबारा गवर्नमेंट उसी पॉलिसी को लेकर के आती है कि हम फिर से कुछ सुधार करके लाए हैं, इस पॉलिसी को स्वीकार किया जाए। मैं फिर चैलेंज करता हूं, फिर वो पॉलिसी टूटती है हाई कोर्ट में। उसके बाद ये लोग अभी MRTP एक्ट में 52A ये एक प्रोविजन लाते हैं और एक्ट बदल देते हैं और ये कहते हैं कि अब इस एक्ट के अनुसार हम 31 दिसंबर 2015 तक के जितने भी इलीगल बिल्डिंग्स हैं उसको हम रेगुलराइज करेंगे।
Bhalchandra Shirsat, why is this happening? Why is the chief minister meeting with people?
I think Mr. Rajiv is having wrong information. Chief Minister has not made any amendment.
I have every evidence.
Mr. Rajiv Mishra, let me complete. आप सुनने का पेशेंस रखिए। Honorable Chief Minister has not made any amendment, any change in the act or the law. He has made announcement. And what is the announcement? Probably he has misunderstood the announcement. Those who are staying in their own flats where there are minor changes like flower bed. Let me complete. Flower bed.
I have documents. I have documents.
Balcony enclosures where they have been harassed by the municipal authorities and where there are no structural changes, no FSI violation, no DC rule violation. When there is no violation.
Focus on the problem at hand. Focus on the problem at hand. The problem at hand is corruption. And today on my Twitter account, I put out a photograph of what the footpath looks like in Banaswadi in Bangalore, for example. Same problem, corruption. There's enough money in all of our cities. There's no intention. All the intentions are wrong. All of the people in power are wrong. All of the people in power hate our lives. They want our children to fall into drains. They want us to break our legs. They want our houses to fall. This is the people in power. And whether you vote for this party or that party, they are all the same. Because every city in our country is being run by a different party. Delhi is being run by the Aam Aadmi Party. One second, Rajiv Mishra. Delhi is being run by the Aam Aadmi Party. Bangalore is being run by the Congress Party. Mumbai is being run by the BJP. Tell me what the difference is. Hyderabad is run by a different party. Chennai is run by a different party. Tell me what the difference is in the quality of our lives in any of these cities. What is the difference? Which city cares more? Please tell me. Where do people die less? Please tell me. Where is the traffic better? Where are there fewer potholes? They're all the same. All the same. All the political parties are the same. None of you people care. None of you people. You're all selfish and you'll just pop up at opportunities like this to blame each other. Where were you before this, Bhalchandra Shirsat, if you knew this was happening? Wasn't it your moral responsibility to stop this from happening? Couldn't you have saved 17 lives, 2 children? You people only show up when there is an opportunity to be had politically. If you had stopped this from happening, there would be no political gain in it for you. This is unfortunately the world that we live in. None of this is good enough. Sujay Kantawala.
Yeah, so therefore, let us now see this angle also. All those people who are responsible will be booked. This person is already inside. All the persons who are connected with this whole episode will also have to be booked immediately, because we are all watching. But what about the families that have suffered? Now there is no roof on their head. Today we are having monsoon in Bombay. They have to be immediately housed. They may need medicines. They may need immediately monetary help. And these are their rights. So therefore they have to be provided that. There are people who are having grievous injuries. That has to be the immediate concern. Because what will happen otherwise is that they will continue suffering, and we cannot allow that to happen. So we have to look at it in a very sensitive manner. And therefore I hope that since Mr. Shirsat is over here, he will take our request. It's a collective request.
No, I'll tell you. So right now, the kin of the deceased, according to the Chief Minister, will get 2 lakh rupees. The government will bear the treatment cost of the injured. The main reason for the collapse is not known. This is what the Chief Minister has said. Now redevelopment work could be the reason for the mishap. We also know that Sunil Shitap is in police custody till the 2nd of August. And the Maharashtra Chief Minister has, this is the thing that infuriates me, has asked for an inquiry report in 15 days from the BMC. Why ask from the BMC, please tell me? Who's responsible? The BMC is responsible. Can we not tell the difference between the chore and the police? This is the problem. That you want the report from the guy who caused the problem. What sort of a quality of report is he going to give you, Shailesh Gandhi? What report will you get from the BMC? Please tell me.
Of no meaning. Of no meaning, and this is senseless exercises that we keep doing. The whole idea is create the facade that we are doing something and actually do nothing. This is very, very unfortunate. I think even now the CM must understand that he needs an independent team of people to investigate if there is to be meaningful investigation. As you rightly pointed out, telling the thief to investigate himself is a completely meaningless exercise, and it's only a sham farce to show people that we are doing something. I am hoping the Chief Minister will realize this mistake and change it. Even tomorrow he can do this.
Sachin Ahir?
Yeah, that's what we have demanded in the upper house as an opposition leader. It has to be investigated by an IS officer from Mantralaya who will be representing from the UD department, not the corporation. One. Secondly, rightly I am trying to point it out, that there is an act, according to the act, why they are not being holding the responsible officers and the contractors. And rightly, as you said, Bhalchandra ji, you have a home department in your hand. If this 1.5 months this things was going on, if you would have pointed out this, or if you would have immediately tell the court, because as per the act and the law, the local PI, who is the beat officer of this, he is also answerable according to the law, which we have passed it in the house. So why these kinds of actions have not been taken? Why we are just uncovering these phase of this? That creates a suspicious, are we trying to indirectly protect someone and just take it this issue as a political, maybe because the guy must be from Shiv Sena or somebody, but I am saying the debate has to be, this kind of event has happened. There are around about 56,000 illegal buildings. That is the report which is a private agency has been giving, and 1,000 of PILs and 1,000 of individual applicants are fighting in the High Court. Why people had to go to High Court when there is a system which we have? They can go and approach to the government or the corporation because they are not functioning, they are not acting on it, and that's how people have to go to the court.
Let me go back to Disha right now, who is with survivors and relatives in Ghatkopar who are struggling right now to get back onto their feet, and they are very, very angry. I understand and empathize how they feel. Disha is with them right now. Disha, what are these citizens saying to you?
Yes, Faye. Yes, Faye, certainly. I'm standing here with Binita Ramchandani, who has been here on the ground with the survivors. Let's straight away speak to her, and she's demanding justice for the family members as well, and also for the deceased. Let's straight away talk to her. Thank you so much for talking to us. You have been here on the ground. You have been talking to a lot of survivors. What is your demand right now?
So firstly, I would want to say that, there are things which go as natural calamity and there are things which go as planned murder. This is actually a case of planned murder. Now you wonder why I asked that question, which is called planned murder. Now I'm going to say this because there are a power-packed goon which is apparently called Mr. Sunil Shitap, who claims himself to be a Sena leader, and many a times where my dad has urged him to stop the demolition, to stop the, doing of the pillars, don't scrap the pillars or don't move the pillars. That is the time when he told that ये जेब में म्युनिसिपैलिटी, ये जेब में पुलिस, कहाँ जाना है जा, मेरी ऊपर तक पहचान है. I wish to understand today one thing. ऊपर तक BMC में whose पहचान do you have? Whom do you know in the BMC on the top? I wish to know those persons' name. Let us meet those persons and get our work done also. Let's all follow this today. And second important thing, I would want to also ask that on what basis did he do a renovation work? Was he given a permission by the BMC? And if the BMC gave him a permission, on what basis did he get the permission? The bigger question being here is, it's a family that has lost, it is a family, people who have lost their lives. I'm just believing myself to be fortunate that I had my mom who came out safe immediately in the next 20 minutes of the building falling down. It doesn't mean that people who have lost their lives are of no value. Today, I am talking only because my family is safe. There are hundreds of others who wish to talk from my society. But more than half, more than 70% of their families have actually died. They have gone to the cremation ground, they're burying them or either cremating them, something or either is happening. They're in such a state of shock when you lose your loved ones that you cannot talk. I had spoken to them, each and every one of them, to understand, because they are no more my neighbors, that they are my family, because I was a toddler when I came to this home, which I called it as my sweet home. But the so-called party leaders, the political influence, and if the BMC is combined along with that, plus the BMC have made my sweet home the graveyard today.
Right.
So I think
right. So this is the thing, and she said it really well. These people have no respect. This is what we are saying. No value for life, no respect for your home, no respect for anything, no respect for the quality of your life, no respect for the safety of your children. I also want to bring in at this point Rajan Bandelkar, President of NAREDCO, Vice President of NAREDCO. Rajan, this is, a lot of people blame the developers for illegal construction, for encroachment. How much of this is corruption?
This is very unfortunate. Of course.
No, unfortunate is unlucky. These people are not unlucky. These people are victims. Somebody did this on purpose. This was not luck. Yeah. Let's be very clear. Let's not use the word unfortunate. This is corruption. You're not an unfortunate victim of corruption. Corruption is something willfully done. There's culpability there. Do not use the word unfortunate. Tell me that this was corruption. Wasn't this corruption? Isn't this what normally happens in construction and in renovation?
The corruption is still there. I will not say that corruption is not there. But see, it's going on from years together. It is not going to change overnight. Yes, of course, everyone is trying to come out of this. The MCGM is also trying, and the government is trying. And
how are they trying? How are they trying? What are they doing to try?
In MCGM, see, in this case, yes, of course, it is a tragedy, and I pray for the departed souls also, and pray to the Almighty to give strength to the families who have lost their loved ones. Here, in case of regular approvals,
when someone wants to knock down a pillar,
it's very
in a
wrong.
building,
It's
whose
very
approval
wrong.
do they need, and can you knock down a pillar without the local authority knowing about it?
See, local authorities cannot go and check each and every every building or every premises. See, the local authorities are there. There are limited people who are working. If they are given, there are contractors. See, in this case, the people who are working there, they are much more responsible at the ground level.
So why are they there then? So you are telling me, Rajan Bandelkar, that the local authority is very responsible, very good, and this was none of their fault. You're going on national television with all of your other colleagues from NAREDCO listening, and you are saying that there is no corruption in the BMC and the local authority has no responsibility over this.
Not at all. I never
so
said like that. What I mean to say,
what happens when someone wants to knock down a pillar? Is it possible? How do you knock down a pillar in such a massive building? What sort of equipment do you have to bring into the building? What sort of noise does it make? Is it possible to do so without having to pay 10 people on the way when you brought that particular piece of equipment in? Please tell me.
You knock down a pillar. It's like cutting off your leg. Does anybody cut his own leg? How can you knock down a pillar? I mean, it's preposterous.
Mr. Rajan is developer. His one file or the other would be on the table of some officer. So he may not be very clear to tell you what is rate of approval per square feet. Its per square feet rate is fixed and area wise it changes. He has been working right from Worli to Thane, so rates are different. But one thing is there, renovation work was going for 1.5 months. Yeah. And in 1.5 months, none of the corporation...
Bhalchandra Shirsat, you keep telling me these stories and I keep wondering why you're not doing anything about it. The BJP at the end of the day promised us a transparent BMC. Transparency within the BMC.
Please remember, madam, political wing has to
you are Mr. Bhalchandra ji, you are supposed to be a watchdog.
Execution part is with the administration.
Let me bring in Dikshu Kukreja. Let me bring in Dikshu Kukreja, who's an architect
check every building where work is going on. Do you expect BJP worker to go in every building?
No, but I know. I expect that when you know something wrong is happening, that you should file a complaint.
That was never pointed by the building people to anybody, not even municipal authorities. They have made any single complaint.
You just told me.
They were afraid.
You know that Mr. Shitap was doing illegal construction. You know that the BMC. You just said there is a going rate. Yes. For actual permissions. Now this going rate
by the developers.
Is this paid in net banking transfer or is it paid by check?
If it would have been paid by check or net banking.
How is this payment made? Is it made in cash?
Yes, definitely.
So you know that there are cash payments being made in the BMC. Yes. Have you filed a complaint? Isn't that illegal?
See, filing a complaint and proving that. Again, ultimately,
it is the police's job to investigate and to prove. It is your job to file a complaint if you know something wrong is happening.
He will tell me, again, somebody is booked and then he escapes. Because the advocate was saying on the TV.
So you have no faith in law and order? You have no faith in the law of this country? You have no faith in the police?
I have faith in law. There are a lot of loopholes. There are a lot of loopholes. There are a lot of drawbacks. There are a lot of escapes.
File a complaint.
And the advocate of Shitap is saying he has made no alterations.
Or you have two choices. Either you file a complaint or...
The complaint is already filed against Shitap. Let us see what happens to this. Complaint is filed against Mumbai. Complaint is filed against Bhalchandra.
To add to what Shirsat is saying, I agree with him to that extent that the advocate for Mr. Shitap, he said that there was he was innocent.
To say something.
Let me just bring in Mr. Kukreja. Mr. Kukreja, I apologize for not coming to you earlier on the show. How corrupt is this system? And I know that there are architects, and you're an architect yourself, who have to deal with the local authorities in all of our cities. How corrupt is the system? Please be as honest as you can.
No, corruption is rampant. I think that's a no-brainer. Everybody is aware of it. But what's shocking is that on the one side, we talk about smart cities and building very modern green buildings in our cities. And on the other hand, there is this entire built stock in our cities, which is dangerous, which is dilapidated, which is falling apart. And something needs to be done about it. We are completely ignoring the core issue that there are buildings in every city in this country which are on the threshold of falling apart for various reasons. First of all, they are illegally built. Then there is very shabby construction that has been done. The poor quality of materials is used. There is no supervision in most of these buildings. And then to top it all, there is zero maintenance. So under these circumstances, what are we talking about? What are we hoping for? So it's sad to see these heart-wrenching images on your screen. But what we need to really do is get beyond this debate of whether complaints have to be filed. I think we all know
investigations and these committees that are being set up are an eyewash. What we need to do is what you have done, I think, is a good start. You've started a petition. It's high time. It's high time, I repeat, that we start looking into these facts more seriously. How many more such incidents do we want should be happening? I thought this city was supposed to be, one Prime Minister had declared almost 20 years back that he's going to make this in Shanghai. Is this a Shanghai? It's a maximum city, but it's with minimum amenities. It's falling apart, and like you said, Faye, the story is the same across cities in India. So we need to look at this aspect far more seriously. And look at it, if we are talking about this building which is not even 25 years old, and somebody says it's a very old building, in Europe you have buildings which are centuries old. And do you ever hear such a case happening there? No, because they have policies in place. They have policies in place for restoration, for upkeep of these buildings. There are laws for that. Here there's a lawmaker who's actually the owner of this building. And there's another lawmaker who's saying, you know, we should have some policy to do something with it. I mean, what do you expect from the common man? A lip on his prayer as he sleeps to hope and be alive for the next sunrise? Is this what we are looking for in our cities? So I think this petition and campaign that you started, let's make that a start. Forget whether they are filing complaints or not.
We have a petition right now going on our website, just to remind our viewers, asking that the Prime Minister make a direction or direct all police officers to, in cases of accidents like this, to investigate the possibility of negligence and corruption on the part of the local authority. So when trees fall, when people die because of potholes, that this is investigated to find out if corruption was actually the cause. And Section 304A, negligent behavior causing death, be used against those who caused these deaths. Because right now, I'll tell you what happens. The police registers a case of accidental death. If it's a death that has actually taken place on the road, they will register a case of negligent driving against the surviving driver, or in one particular case against the deceased driver. They never consider the fact that the person responsible for the potholes in this case is responsible for death, and that is what we are looking to change. Srivastav Rao is on the phone line right now. Srivastav Rao, can you hear me? Go ahead.
Good evening. I'm coming on the show.
Yes, go ahead. Mr. Rao, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, madam.
Good evening.
The whole debate is about no value for life. Absolutely. In our country, there is no value for life. Who cares? Unless the Neta's family or someone close to them die, there is some, serious action is taken. Okay?
Yes.
Whether it is any political party, Congress, BJP, Sena, as you said, some panelists said that all are corrupt. The moment you say a politician, he's a corrupt guy. They only want to make money.
Right. Shailesh Gandhi, you wanted to come in, and you know, this is the visual I was talking about of these women looking through the rubble for their belongings. It breaks my heart.
Look, there is one possible solution and everybody knows about it.
Yes.
If we can get greater transparency in the BMC, there has been a lot of lip service, and Mr. Shirsat, with due apologies, your party has been talking of transparency, but there is no change in the transparency of BMC. The very simple solution, everything that is done in BAP is on SAP, which is on computers. We've suggested this, please put up everything on the web, so that any citizen can see, including down to a permission, down to the amount of money spent, down to the contracts, down to what are the guarantees, whether penalties are being levied on defaulting people or not. But that's not being done. Instead, there is a committee which is supposed to suggest something. Extremely simple solution is there, sir, and I would plead with you, please get BJP to order this. All municipal corporations will change tremendously because citizens will become your vigilance monitors.
Yes.
And that's a possible solution, sir.
And citizens will become your vigilance monitors because apparently nobody else wants to do the job. Our lives are not worth more than the packets of money you all are all receiving in return for looking the other way. Rajiv Mishra, go ahead.
मैं इतना इम्पोर्टेंट इशू पे आप डिस्कशन कर रही हैं, इसलिए मैं कुछ फैक्ट्स आपको बताना चाहता हूं जो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. मैं आपको बताऊं कि मुंबई उच्च न्यायालय ने 16 दिसंबर 2015 को जो इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन होते हैं उसको लेकर के बिल्कुल क्लियर आदेश दिया है कि इसमें ऑफिसर्स का इन्वॉल्वमेंट का जांच किया जाना चाहिए और जो ऑफिसर्स उसमें इन्वॉल्व पाए जाते हैं उन पर तुरंत एफआईआर दर्ज करना चाहिए। ये 2015 का ऑर्डर है, आज 2017 जुलाई हो गए हैं। मैं दिखा सकता हूं कि मैं पुलिस कमिश्नर, डीसीपी, एसीपी, इंस्पेक्टर सारे लोगों को मैं लेटर दे दे करके थक गया हूं हाईकोर्ट के उस ऑर्डर के साथ, और ऑफिसर्स के इन्वॉल्वमेंट की जांच की बात कर रहा हूं। नॉट ए सिंगल स्टेप हैज बीन टेकन बाय द पुलिस। आपको मैं इसलिए आपको बताना चाह रहा हूं क्योंकि अब इससे ज्यादा एक सिटीजन क्या कर सकता है। मुंबई उच्च न्यायालय का आदेश है, आप पिटीशन फाइलिंग करने की बात कर रही हैं, यहां मुंबई उच्च न्यायालय ने आदेश दे रखा है। उस जगह पर जब ऐसी बातें हैं, और दूसरी चीज 5 कॉर्पोरेटर को मैंने डिस्क्वालीफाई कराया इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन को लेकर 10(1)D में। ये कॉर्पोरेटर हाईकोर्ट में चले गए कि कमिश्नर हैज नो पावर टू डिस्क्वालीफाई हिम, ऐसा करके चले गए हाईकोर्ट में। हाईकोर्ट ने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को बोला कि आप एफिडेविट फाइल करो कि म्युनिसिपल कमिश्नर को पावर है कि नहीं। 7 महीने हो गए, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने एफिडेविट फाइल नहीं किया कि उनके, और जबकि 23 अप्रैल 2007 को इसी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने लॉ एंड जुडिशरी डिपार्टमेंट के एक ओपिनियन के साथ सारे म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन को यह निर्देश भेजा है कि 10(1)D में म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन कमिश्नर को पावर है।
The truth is that our lives are constantly being taken for granted. There was a question that popped up on our screen, and I'll take it to Sujay Kantawala, about tort cases, and this has come up on Twitter as well, that is the criminal route the solution? Should these people be prosecuted criminally and sent to jail? And I think yes, because lives are being lost. It's not a question. See, if I lost money because of your corruption, so which is what happens to us every day. We have to refix our cars every monsoon because of the state of the roads. We lose time, we lose energy, we lose money every year because of corruption. The compensation for the loss of money should be money, but the compensation for the loss of life, Sujay Kantawala, can that be a demand for money?
No, and therefore it is always translated like you have insurance. So whenever there is a death, then it is translated in terms of money. So according to me, the corpus that will be paid to the victims must be from the pockets of the people who are guilty.
I would like to,
unless it comes from the pockets of the people who are guilty, from their retirement fund, from their PF benefits and attachment of all their assets. Those assets will be sold and paid to these victims. Then only this will be a test case for all future such officers and bureaucrats to realize that the law is going to catch up with them and they are accountable. Here we are going to be vigilant, and this is the campaign that you have started. And enough is enough. We have to do something. Otherwise, this city is going to completely collapse.
And see, it's not a question about this city. It's not a question just about Mumbai. This is a campaign we're starting for the entire country. We're starting it in the name of the person in Delhi who fell into an open sewer and died. We're starting it in the name of the person in Pune who hit a pothole on his motorcycle and died. We're starting it in the name of the person in Bangalore, in Chennai, in Hyderabad. All of these people, these deaths cannot go in vain. And now 17 people who died because of corruption. We have to draw the line at some point. We have to say, because tomorrow it could be you, it could be your loved one, it could be your mother or father who are at home when the building collapses. How are we going to make sure that these people don't make us targets next? And I want to go back to Dikshu Kukreja as an architect. Is there anything else we can do other than making sure that these people are held criminally accountable? I'll come to you.
Yeah, so what I would suggest here is, all those aspects aside, I think what all our cities need now, because they've expanded, they've really grown in size over the years, first suggestion I would make is that there should be a separate redevelopment authority, because all these local corporations you're talking about are already encompassing work which has to do with new construction. But as we go on building more buildings, we need a redevelopment authority which has its separate mandate. And you see such authorities globally across cities in the world. The second thing I would suggest is that there should by law be an escrow account for every new project that is built, because this bane of the problem is that we don't have maintenance and upkeep of these buildings, and in multi-tenant buildings nobody wants to pay for the upkeep. So if there are escrow accounts by law for the maintenance and upkeep of each building, I think part of the problem gets solved, because you have the finances there to take care of it. So I think these are two important aspects I would say. The third I would say case that wherever we know buildings are unsafe, let's be practical and sensible, and we need to provide alternative buildings. We
while all of that is fair, and we can keep making new rules and new regulations, the truth that we're missing is empathy and intention. The people in power in our local authorities do not care about us. They do not care about the safety of our children. They do not care about the safety of our homes. They have no respect for the money that we've paid them in taxes. They have no respect for little toddlers who are in their beds at night when these people find ways to make our ceilings collapse onto our heads. They do not care for the EMI that you are paying on your house because they don't care if the house comes down tomorrow. We have to make them care. They have to stop seeing these jobs as massive cash cows of ways to put aside black money that they will retire upon and enjoy for the rest of their lives at our expenses. We have to make them see that everything they sign on and everything they choose not to sign on is a death warrant for our families. And that will only happen if these people are criminally accountable for every death that they cause. They should be terrified when a file arrives at their table to think that if I don't do my best possible job here, I could wind up in jail. They should be terrified every time they turn the other way when someone is knocking down a pillar in a building, when someone is encroaching, when someone is doing a bad job on a road and they know somebody is going to fall into it in their morning walk and they're going to die. These people should be absolutely terrified because that is how we live in our cities. We're terrified of walking, we're terrified of driving, we're terrified of going to bed. There is no reason why anybody in the BMC or the BBMP in Bangalore or the Delhi Municipal Corporation should be able to sleep soundly if we can't sleep soundly as tax-paying citizens. Our campaign is open and is available on our website, on our Facebook page and our Twitter page. Please sign on. We continue and we promise to continue to fight this until we get justice. These people will not be let off the hook. That I promise you. Thanks for watching.